Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to get started with the Parks and Rec Commission meeting, regular meeting agenda, August 14th, 2025, 7 p.m. Can I start with a flag salute, please? Uh, Commissioner Ruiz, can you please do that for me?
Please stand, raise the flag, and put your right hand over your heart and ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Can we do a roll call, please? Present.
Vice Chair Ruiz,
Present.
Secretary Esquivel,
Present.
Commissioner Pelayo.
Present.
Meeting compensation disclosure pursuant to Government Code Section 54952.3. Compensation for monthly attendance by the Parks and Recreation Commissioners is $75 per monthly meeting. Report on posting. I, Ana Medina, Executive Assistant to the Parks Director, certify that a true and correct copy of the foregoing meeting agenda was properly posted on August 7th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. as required by law.
Thank you. Okay, in our packages, we all had a copy of the minutes from last meeting. Can I get a motion to receive and approve the minutes from as presented?
Make the motion.
I second.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
So the minutes that we're going to be receiving are from April 10th and May 8th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve both those minutes?
Make the motion.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, at this time, we're going to open up the chamber to a public comment.
Hi, my name is Franklin. I am the fitness coordinator at the Sports Center, and I just came in because this is my first time coming to the Park Commissioner meetings. Secondly, thank you for having me, and I just came to comment on some of the new programs that we have. We are expanding our step aerobics, our advanced yoga, and we are creating a new combo boxing class, and we also are pushing for a HIIT class, a high intensity interval training on Saturdays. Hopefully I get to see some of you guys there, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Franklin.
Thank you.
Any more public comments?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Canal. I just want to Daniel Canal, Canal. I just members of the Park Commission. I'm a volunteer member of the Southgate JAA, a member of our community. Our board is an all-volunteer organization that provides an affordable program to support healthy activities to the children of Southgate and neighboring communities. Our efforts have resulted in keeping our costs low in comparison to similar programs in surrounding cities. As a partner organization with the city, we are offered office space, basketball courts, baseball and softball fields. Also, other programs that receive some of those incentives is like the AYSO, the Aztecs football team, the Southgate Aquatic program, which also gets to use the swimming pool for free. And they're also allowed to sell food in order to keep their costs down. I just wanted to share that I've been associated with the JA for the last 10 years. It's been an honor having my family, my wife, my children be a part of it, watching them grow, and just kind of want to bring that to light to you guys, so you guys, see how great the JA is for the community, and being a part of a volunteer program and how just helping the youth grow. I've been a coach. I just love it and want to share that, it's like so fundamental, like for the community. Just want to say thank you guys for allowing me to share that with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public comments?
Hi, my name is Edith Wayopa Lily.
Can you bring the mic down?
Thank you. Wayopa, Hueyo, P as in Paul, A, Lily, Lilly. I'm just asking if anybody could help me get my money from the nonprofit that is run through the park. I didn't know what else to do because I've emailed a bunch of emails and nobody has responded. Well, some of them responded, but it's not only me, but it's other parents that want their money back. And we haven't gotten a response from the SGAA organization. I don't know what else to do. I just need help right now because our kids are not even playing and they refuse to refund us for something that it wasn't necessary. I get it. It's a good program. I didn't get a chance to see the good of it, but I live in Southgate. I live just around the corner from the park. And it's a shame that I have to go through other cities for my kids to play. So I'm asking for anybody to see if anybody can help me out to get not only myself, but other parents their money back. That's all that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Roberto Sanchez. The reason why I'm here is I was kind of hoping to see if we could add some more pickleball courts to Southgate Park. We've had so many senior citizens that have, heart disease, diabetes, all these health issues, bad knees, and because of the way the sport is, it's such low impact, it's easy for them to pick up. You have them coming out, they're so much healthier, they're getting out there again. We have growing communities, people that have been lonely, all of a sudden they're getting friends. It's a great community. The only thing is that there's only 2 courts at this moment. The city painted 4 pickleball lines on the court. I was just hoping if it's possible to paint. So the way it is you have the tennis court here, the tennis net. The south side appears to be painted, all 4. I was just wondering if it's possible to get the top side as well. That way we get people that bring their own nets and they could set them up on that side as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the sport has really picked up a lot. It's really popular. We have people coming from different cities. It's just that it's getting so popular now that, there's just not enough courts now. And our seniors are super happy. They're getting healthy again, like I said. And yeah, I was just hoping to get that out to you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Is there any other public comments?
Good evening. My name is Ernest Medina, and I'm a board member for the Southgate JAA organization. And I just want to state that with the lady that was up front, I don't know your name. Edith. We did have a board of review of the matter, and we did ask her if we can, if the kids can continue to play. We didn't kick them out or anything like that. As far as I know, the team is actually active and are playing, but it seemed like they voluntarily walked away from the team. So we never asked them to leave or ban them. They're more than welcome to come back. As far as her refund, as far as I know, we were offered, we were going to give them credit for the next basketball season, or they could follow up with that with the baseball season that's up and coming. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And they're more than welcome to come back. Just to put it on the record that the coach left the team. We didn't tell the coach anything but just the rules of the organization. And it's Division One, which is a peanut division. And basically, it's basketball 101. We're just here to learn, teach the kids the fundamentals of basketball and baseball, the rules, and to prepare them for the next level. So this division is just basically, we don't keep score. Coaches are to teach the kids just the fundamentals of the sport. Basically, they have to crawl, before they walk. And this organization is built to prepare them for the challenges that are ahead, where it gets competitive after that division. So we don't keep score, and they walk away with a trophy after the season's over for their participation. So I just want to throw that out there. And it's been like that for many years. And it's a good program to help them develop their skills and also prepare them for whatever challenges are ahead. It could be high school through college to even professionals. I've been a part of this organization as I was young, and I'm proud to help out whatever I can to bring back what they taught me when I was young. And in the end, I ended up becoming a high school football and baseball coach for a lot of schools. But I understand the concept of what they bring. So they start off small, and then they move up, and that's when it gets competitive. That's where the challenges start to come in play. So I just wanted to state that, and I love being a part of it. So anything I can do to help out. So thank you for your time. And, that's it.
Thank you. Will there be any other public comment at this time? Okay, if not, then we'll close the public comment portion.
Anna, I believe you have some letters. Oh, you want to do it? Okay, so we did receive a few letters that were asked to be read.
Okay.
This first one is from Candace Esquivel. It says, good afternoon. I want to address the comments made by Councilmember Avalos at the conclusion of the August 12th, 2025 meeting. She raised questions regarding whether the JAA carries insurance and whether formal guidelines exist between the city and the JAA. These concerns appear to stem from a complaint by an individual dissatisfied with this program's approach, specifically their desire for 4 and 5-year-olds to engage in more aggressive and competitive behavior. In my view, this complaint is less about genuine concern and more about political maneuvering aimed at discrediting Vice Mayor Barron. The JAA program has weathered years of criticism, particularly during the time Councilmember Hurtado served on the board. Increasingly, those attacks ceased once he stepped down. Now, with another election cycle underway, we are seeing renewed efforts to undermine the program, this time targeting Vice Mayor Barron. It's disheartening to witness such tactics, especially when they appear to be driven by personal or political agendas. I urge this commission to rise above the petty politics and refocus on what truly matters, serving our community with integrity and respect. If there are members here with aspirations for higher office, which I know there is at least one who previously ran for city council, I hope they'll pursue those goals through leadership and vision, not through divisive and unproductive attacks. This kind of behavior must end. Our children and community deserve better. Kind regards, Candice Salache. And there's another one here from Alma Ochoa. And it says, my name is Alma. After last night's meeting, I could stay silent no more. I've been a volunteer with the JAA for nearly 7 years. It's a recreational program. Even though we give trophies to some teams, its goal is to be recreational and not competitive. Our program is one of the many partner organizations with the city. We're no different than AYSO, Southgate Aquatics, Boy Scouts, Southgate Youth Football Aztecs, and other groups. We are all volunteers who serve the community. For political reasons, it's been a target simply because Councilmember Hurtado was the president. Let me remind you that he retired in September 2024. Almost immediately, the attacks had stopped. But now that Vice Mayor Barron is involved, these attacks are beginning again. For Ms. Avalos to single out our SGJAA last night is completely unacceptable. She referred to an issue concerning a request for $80. This has been blown way out of proportion. I am the one who took the minutes that day for the board meeting. The parent signed a contract that clearly states no refunds will be given. The complaint started because of a coach, which I believe is the husband of the parent who wrote the complaint, failed to follow our rules. The age group involved, called Division I. This involves the youngest group that range from 4 to 6 years old. In this division, the game always ends in a tie. Everyone wins. They all get a trophy. During the games, the children violate every rule but learn the simplest explanations of the game. What we discourage is grabbing of players as well as taking the ball away from the opponent. In short, there is no full court pressure. We ask the children to go back on defense when the other team gets the ball and put their hands up. This coach does the opposite. He was directing the children to grab the ball away, which that day it so happened to have happened to children with special needs on the opposing team and left one of the children crying. The coach did not like this. He claimed that he coaches competitively regardless of their age. He refused to follow our rules and decided to dump the team. This was explained to the parent after she addressed the JAA board, which was hard to get a word in edgewise as the parent kept interrupting. The parent also lied to the board and stated that the commissioner had called her husband Mr. Lilly and said she was listening to everything, but it was proven that the commissioner did not call Mr. Lilly, was the one that called the commissioner himself. The board ruled against the refund. As a policy, the person has a right to appeal to the SGAA decision by speaking to the parks director, Steve Costley. This is why Ms. Chabaron informed the parent that she can appeal to Mr. Costley. If Ms. Avalos would have reached out to our organization's president, she would have explained the situation to her. Instead, she decided to politicize the situation by smearing the JAA board members and its volunteer staff. There's another one from an Evelyn Andrade. To whom it may concern, my name is Evelyn Andrade, and I have been part of your sports and dance and parks and recreation program for about 3 years now. My boys, Luis Cadenas and Adriel Cadenas, are both part of the red team in basketball, as they both enjoy sports and teamwork. For the first time, did I and my family had to experience not only aggressiveness from the young kids playing, but also the aggressiveness and rudeness of a lot of parents. That game felt so long, not only because it was making a lot of the kids feel uncomfortable and out of place, that they did not know how to react. The purple team was pushing, making faces, snatching balls from the other teammates. Once our coach Raul approached the coach from the opposing team and said, hey, can we all let the kids play and be involved? The coach just shrugged his shoulders and said, what do you want me to do? The coach did not speak to the team. The coach did not approach any of the teammates to indicate what they can and cannot do. The purple team seemed a 3-kid team. Not everyone was playing, and the parents started yelling out, it's a competition, stop crying, because one of our teammates was crying, but she was crying because she was overstimulated, and that was her way of expressing herself. I know because summer season of peanut division, she was on our team and sometimes felt overstimulated, but with the right and great sportsmanship, I have seen how she can exceed. It's my understanding that they are all learning the division, and that to means make the game about the kids enjoying themselves, have fun, and learn the rules so that when they do move up, they'll know what to do and where to go. And I feel that we all have been blessed with a great coach that teaches our kids that we have played yellow team and black team, all kids played and all kids happy. Nothing compares to the first game. And my boys sub played last week with the purple team, and after with our team, because they will help out. It's always about the kids. And I feel personally that the coach failed his commitment to the team, and for the parents to believe we should all just be aggressive and ridiculous. It's ridiculous, because that will only cause conflicts. I really enjoy the Sports Academy at Southgate Park, and all the staff is always welcoming to hear concerns. With that said, please consider all sides, and thank you for your attention. Evelyn Andrade. I have another one from Mary Sanchez. It says, to whom it may concern, good afternoon. I'm a parent of a child in the Southgate Junior Athletic Association. I'm writing to express my deep concerns regarding comments made by Councilwoman Maria de Pilar Avalos at the conclusion of the special council meeting on August 12, 2025. Councilmember Avalos questioned the integrity of the JAA based on a single parent complaint. I want to be clear. This parent does not speak for me. I have children currently in the program, and I also grew up playing in the program myself. As a child, I had an excellent experience, which is why I have chosen to enroll my own children today. Over the years, I've witnessed some parents behaving disrespectfully and acting entitled, yet have never seen the volunteers of this program treat anyone with disrespect. In the specific case of the recent complaint, I understand that the parent's husband, who was the coach of the 4 to 6-year-old team, left suddenly, leaving the team without a coach. My child is on that team. Within 24 hours, the JAA had already found a replacement to ensure the children's games continued without disruption. If anyone's actions should be questioned, it should be the coach and his wife who abandoned the team, not the organization that stepped in to fill the gap. What is more confusing is that this family still attends games with their older child in Division 4, despite claiming to have had serious issues with the organization. I also wonder how many other council members or commissioners personally volunteer in youth programs. Volunteering takes a great deal of time and sacrifice from one's personal life, yet I do not hear the same scrutiny applied to the other youth programs. The JAA is also the most affordable youth program within the city, which allows families like mine with 2 or 3 children to participate. In other programs, the cost of one child's enrollment equals to what I pay for all 3 of my children in JAA. Based on what I've seen during council meetings and on social media, these attacks appear to be politically motivated because certain council members are involved in the JAA. This program has existed in our local parks for decades, and despite rising costs everywhere else, its fees have remained affordable for our community. I respectfully ask that you stop using this youth program for political attacks. The real harm falls on the children and the families who have benefited from it for generations. Sincerely, Mary S. Another one from, says, good evening. I would like to clear up a few things. Below is an email Ms. Lilly sent to the Parks Department. First off, all what she called is supposed to be a board meeting. It was a board meeting. The board listened to her and her 2 other parents. And I'd like to point out that at the end of the meeting, one of the parents said he just wanted his kid to continue playing. She was upset that the division was not competitive, but that's what she signed up for. And that is also what the coach, her spouse, agreed to abide to in the coaching contract he signed. So let's talk about what not competitive means. It's a division for 4 to 6-year-olds, and the goal here is to teach basic fundamentals. We're not looking for winners or losers, and we're not excited. And we are excited when the kids are just listening and learning and participating in the program. As she stated, she thought it was competitive, and that's why she left Cudahy and came to Southgate, since they are not competitive for that age group. It explained again that Division 1 is only fundamentals. That's why we do not keep score or have tryouts. At the end of the season, everybody wins first place. She stated that was not explained to her, which I doubt, since we tell all parents signing up about tryouts for the older division, and for Division 1, we tell them everyone wins first place. But it was covered in the coaching class. So, let's see. So her coach, which happens to be her husband, was told, and he signed a coach's contract, that he understood the rules and he would abide by the rules, much like the parents' contract that she signed about following the rules and the registration contact that states no refunds. In this case, the coach quits, and in less than 8 hours, we had a replacement coach so the children can still play and practice with no disruption. During the meeting, I was on the phone since I'm out of town. I guess no one heard me when Miss Lilly was asking about a copy of the minutes. Park staff has no access to our minutes, and we do not fall under the sunshine laws and are not government affiliated, so our minutes are not open to the public. No one was trying to mislead or lie, as a person conducting the meeting was not aware of this. During the meeting, it was hard for others to speak since Miss Lilly kept interrupting. One of the other coaches in the same division came in and was stating that he was trying to explain to their coach about his players playing too aggressively and that the coach was rude to him. Anyways, now that I went on longer than I should, the board decided to follow past practice and our own rules not to provide a refund, since the children still have a coach and there will be no disruption in the games. Also, I would like to point out that during the meeting, our commissioner, Cynthia, stated she never called the coach and stated in the email below The coach called her. Miss Lily states she was listening in on the call. She agreed that Cynthia did not call her husband and did not say much when Cynthia stated she never told him that she was teaching the children wrong. Cynthia stated that what she told him was that they are 4 to 6 years and you have to just keep reminding them because they are small children. Cynthia also stated that after 30 to 40 minutes of going round and round, the coach just stated, "Then I quit." Cynthia stated she hoped he wouldn't, and that he should think about it. And if you like, you can call me with the phone number for any questions. And that was from Cynthia Seipert. Got another one here from Cesar Ochoa. To whom it may concern, I hope this message finds you well. I am a longtime resident of Southgate and a parent of a child currently participating in your league. I also played in this very league many years ago, and now as a parent, I am proud to bring my children to participate, just as I did when I was younger. I wanted to address a troubling incident that occurred during a recent game my child played in. As many parents are aware, and as it's outlined in the league's rule, the primary goal for children at this level should be to learn the fundamentals of the sport rather than focusing on competitiveness. My child plays both basketball and t-ball, and I understand that these early years are crucial for building skills and fostering a love for the game. However, I was deeply concerned by the behavior I witnessed during the game. The actions of the coach, specifically instructing children to aggressively smack and take the ball away from their peers in a forceful manner, do not align with the spirit of sportsmanship or the development goals of the league. This behavior was not only inappropriate, but also caused one of the children to cry, feeling overwhelmed by the aggression and unable to participate comfortably. This league has always been a family-friendly environment where every child is given the opportunity to learn, grow, and enjoy the game. The actions I observed were not in line with these values, and I strongly believe that such aggressive behavior should not be tolerated as it detracts from the overall experience for the children involved. I respectfully ask that you review this incident and take appropriate steps to ensure that all coaches foster a positive, supportive environment that encourages participation, skill development, and mutual respect among children. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I look forward to hearing from you. Cesar Ochoa. I have another one here from Jose Luis Mercado. The purpose, let's see, dear City of Southgate, the purpose of this letter is to express my sincere appreciation for the JAA and its outstanding contributions to the community. The dedication and generosity of the business have made a positive impact for my kids wanting to play in multiple sports with the JAA. As a longtime resident of the City of Southgate, I have enrolled 7 of my children, which are adults now, with the JAA program when they were kids, which helped them when they were with their adult life careers in sports. 6 of my children are athletic trainers for a variety of professional worldwide sports, and 1 graduating next year at USC. Go Trojans. I want to thank the JAA and the volunteers for being such an invaluable part of the community and for ongoing efforts to make a positive difference in the community. The hard work is appreciated and the continued positive impact in the future is anticipated. And that's from Jose Luis Mercado. And that's it.
That's it? Okay, so then if there's no more public comment, we'll close the public comments at this time. Next up, we have our review. Number 1 is our review of recreational programs, fourth quarter fiscal year 24-25.
Before that, can you address just what the parks, or we can?
They're not, none of those items are on the agenda, so they have to be agendized in order to discuss it. It's just public comment.
Anna, can I just ask, is it Edith? Can you leave your contact info with Anna, please? Thank you.
We're good. Okay. So I'll go ahead and give the staff report for item 1. Good evening, commissioners. Filling in today for our director, Steve Cossey. My name is Tina Del Rosa, the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation. So we'll start off with aquatics and talk about the fourth quarter. For us is the beginning of the peak season at the swim stadium as it's our summer month approaches. This summer we did experience growth, but we also went through some highs and lows due to staffing issues, potential budgets, and some external factors. Participation in the Learn to Swim program, it grew steadily in April and May, with the usual surge that takes place in June when the weather gets warmer and all the kids are out of school. The start of summer wasn't as strong as previous years due to staffing issues, so we couldn't offer as many the morning swim lessons and the evening group lessons. And then due to potential budget cuts, they dropped the private and semi-private swim lessons as well. And then with the ongoing immigration-related issues, that also negatively impacted the registration numbers and attendance for the recreational swim sessions. But nonetheless, there was almost 1,400 people enrolled during this period across all age groups, and the enrollment did remain steady throughout the summer. And then June also marked the seasonal programs that we offer, which is a Splash Swim Camp, the Gator Swim Academy, Junior Lifeguards, Junior Water Polo, and Surfing 101. And then in the spring and early summer, we had featured special events. In April, they had the first ever, their inaugural Easter Splash Fest. They had over 220 participants register for the event. And then they were also able to work with the school districts for the elementary school career day, where they taught kids about lifeguarding, the lifeguarding profession. CPR demos were given, and they talked about the importance of water safety. Also in May, we're happy to celebrate May as Water Safety Month. So they celebrated that with the Water Safety Bash. On the fitness side, total fitness memberships during the fourth quarter had dropped to 2,500, which is a decrease from 4,100 recorded in the previous quarter, which, yes, that sounds like a tremendous drop, and it is. But just so you're aware, the reduction is attributed to the department. We went through a new credit card processing system, which meant that we had to somewhat cancel or eliminate everybody's memberships that we had that were ongoing regular memberships, and kind of start all over again. So we're now, once again, rebuilding that up. And the staff have done a great job of rebuilding it fairly quickly, but we're not quite where we were in the past. And then the personal training program saw a 165% increase in the number of packages sold during this quarter. And then this trend aligns with the seasonal pattern that when the weather gets warmer, more people come out to exercise, and there's just a higher interest in fitness. Then we also had the annual Spring Fit 5K, which took place on May 10th. It was our 8th year of the event. And once again, Bimbo was our title sponsor for that event. We had over 950 participants with more than 300 spectators. It's our largest race of the year, and it went very well. The fitness staff also participated in the summer kickoff event that we had on June 11th, where the community members were invited to come out and explore the parks and recreation programs. They hosted an outdoor Zumba session and a promotional booth along with the other divisions. On the youth sports side, the youth fundamental classes were offered during the spring season, and they reached capacity for registration just within a few days. Attendance remained consistent throughout the duration of the program, and all the participants received certificates on the last day of class. Also for spring break, we facilitated the week-long sports camp where they go over soccer, flag football, volleyball, basketball, and baseball, a different sport every day of the week. And then all the kids receive a camp T-shirt and a sack pack. For the adult sports, the fourth quarter commenced with the conclusion of the registration for adult softball season. This season included 3 men's division, and for the first time, 4 co-ed divisions. So they had a total of 40 teams across all 7 divisions. And it was scheduled for over a span of 10 weeks. And then during the summer break, we had the open play volleyball, which continues to be one of our most well-attended weekly activities on Tuesday evenings. In response to the high attendance for volleyball, and the increasing demand, we hosted our first or inaugural Volleyball After Dark event, which was also sold out and just went very well. As far as partner organizations, the Aztecs continue their preseason football practices at Hollydale Regional Park for football and cheer. The JAA hosted their opening day on May 3rd. And then we had Clinton Yates from ESPN Radio who came out. Thanks to Mr. Flores for getting Clinton to come out to speak to the kids and give them just a word of encouragement. And then at the end, they celebrated with the conclusion with hot dogs and chips and beverages for everybody in attendance. And then AYSO successfully completed their spring season and is preparing for the fall season to begin this September. Registration is currently open for anybody interested in playing. On our social media side, our total followers is up to almost 7,500, which is an increase of nearly 200 from the last quarter. Our recreation marketing coordinator position has gotten filled. She's gotten acclimated to our city and to what we offer, and she just recently implemented new guidelines and procedures for our Parks and Rec team, just to try to make things more simplified, easier, and just so she can make more posts and things like that. And just have better communication via social media. On the senior center side, senior center is full of energy and enthusiasm. They had tons of events and celebrations. In April, they celebrated with Easter and interactive games. May, which is Older Americans Month, they have an event for that, and they celebrated Beatrice, who's a yoga instructor who donates a lot of hours to the seniors and to promote wellness and connection. And then also in May, one of the biggest events that our seniors participate in is the annual Southeast Senior Ball, which is hosted at the Commerce Casino. And there's 400 to 600 seniors who participate, and it's a really cool event. And this is they really look forward to it, and they hang out with other seniors and they just mingle, and it's a great event for them. And then in June, they held an event for all the fathers in celebration of Father's Day, and they had mariachi group come out, and they had some music and dancing and all that good stuff, as well as they hosted, along with Alignment Insurance, they hosted a health fair. And there they had some music and health screenings, some vendor booths, and raffles for the seniors. And lastly, they had a chance to participate in the variety of excursions that they normally have every quarter. And, they try and do different trips that offer great experiences and opportunities for adventures for our seniors. The contract classes for the spring quarter, we hosted the end of the dance recitals. They had about 500 people in attendance each night as they did different dances for ballet, Mexican folklorico, cheerleading, tap and ballet, and baby boogie. And then for special events, the spring quarter was a little bit busier. They had a couple new events in there. We had our typical Easter Fest, our Mom Prom, our Memorial Day event, and summer kickoff. So again, we had a little bit of some old stuff that we do traditionally and some new things that were added in. The Easter Fest featured student volunteers from STEAM and ISLC who assisted by overseeing the game booths and the craft areas. And we also had some donations that came through from Shakey's and NB Rentals and Tampico. This year we had our Easter Fest was revamped again, and we had our showmobile stage out there, so it was a nice addition for the staging area. And then new to the event, as we mentioned before, was our adult egg hunt, which was very popular and seemed to go over well. It was a slow start, but once we got the adults to come out, they were acting like children, and it was great. And then this year we had our inaugural Mom Prom, which was a sold-out event. And it was like a mother and son type event, or a special woman in your life and young man event. And they had a dinner, DJ, and a special gift exchange. And the theme was a 80s themed attire and glow-in-the-dark decor. We also had a Memorial Day event on May 24th. We had our Lance Corporal Christine Rangel, who came in, was our keynote speaker. And we also offered some light refreshments for the events. And then, as previously mentioned, we had our summer kickoff, our first time. It's a new event, summer kickoff event. Basically, it just allows the community to come out and just to get to learn about all the different divisions and that we offer, or allows us to explain and go over all the divisions that we offer within the department. People can come out and see. And they did a little not scavenger hunt, but a little card where they were able to go to, if they went to every single booth or division within the park, throughout the park, and it was kind of spread out, they were able to turn that card in to get some free hot dogs and some refreshments. So it went over well. People seemed to enjoy it, and a lot of people got some good information about different classes that we offer that they had no idea about. As far as the teen programming side, during the spring quarter, we still had a staff vacancy, but we're proud to report that we do have a staff now hired on for our teen program. And just this past week, they started painting the teen room or the teen area that we're going to be utilizing for our teen center, so to speak, program. So we're very excited to finally get that kick-started and up and running. As far as the golf course, the springtime, we had an increase in attendance in both the driving range and the golf course. And then they had their, in May, they hosted a scramble format tournament with 40 participants. So since they started the tournaments, it's been going very well. I think every single one, they have about 40 people, which is pretty much maxed out for us. We could probably do a little bit more, but 40 is usually the limit for that. And then to enhance the overall golf experience, we have some new checkered flags out there and a new cleaning station and newly designed golf punch cards. And lastly, I think is our cultural arts. They had the playgrounds or Jugamos art exhibition that went over very well. They had artists come out to talk about just the joyfulness of being a kid and being on playgrounds. Also, they hosted their first Noche Acústica or the acoustic night, and that was hosted at the park, near our scout area. And they had 3 featured artists that came in to partake in it. And then they also allowed the community or anybody else to come out and participate in the open mic night. I did attend that event, and we saw quite a few families who just kind of strolling by through the park who stopped by to check it out. And people were asking like, hey, when's the next one? So that's always a good sign.
Yeah.
And then the art team has worked with Nanette Barragan's office, the Congresswoman's office, in being a judge for one of their art competitions. So it's always good to be partners with various groups. And then they took some trips to some local Compton Museum, the Columbia Space Center for Downey, and their library. So again, just, it's always good to build relationships and potential partners for the future. And that is the fourth quarter report. Just
Okay.
that.
I'll let Commissioner Escobar, you can go ahead and go first. Any comments?
Tina, that was a lot. But it's great though, because it's a lot of great feedback. I attend most of the events, and the people are there just so excited to be there, and I see it all the time. So thank you very much. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. You guys always outdo yourselves, and I say at every meeting, I'm more grateful than ever to have such a dedicated park staff to put so much effort into all the events. Whenever there's a wrench in the gears, you guys always maneuver around it and make these events successful. And I also want to say to our partner organizations that I am very grateful to you guys, to the work that you all bring. You're all volunteers. I've had friends who have been volunteer coaches, and I know it's not easy. My nieces and nephews have participated in the programs, and they're here for a reason, and they are the most affordable in our area. We are very lucky to have great partner organizations, and it's very unfortunate that a great program like the SJ, the Junior Athletic Association, does become a pawn during election season, which is what I did see and at our last council meeting during our what's about the SGA. So I think, regarding that, working with our partner organizations, the council member had a lot of questions related to how the contracts work. And I just want to say, as a member of this commission, that information has been available to me. So I know I don't know how public it is, but if it's available to a commissioner, I assume it's available to a council member. And we've talked about it at our meetings here. So maybe, we should focus on getting a commissioner here for the council member. But I trust the JAA, and it's just a very unfortunate situation, I think. But, there's rules and procedures that need to be followed with all organizations. And I trust that our staff do their proper oversight, and hopefully, this matter gets addressed. And if that can be reported back to us at the next meeting, that would be great.
We have got to hold on for that.
Because it's something that got brought up as from a council member, it has to stay there at that level. If it was something that was brought up here and you guys take it up, but if it's already brought up there, it's going to be addressed there. So we have to keep it at that level.
Got it. But I guess since it was brought up here during our public comments as well, then
Let me
think
check
it
it
would
out.
be a good. Yeah, I would request just
Yeah, we have to wait until this.
we'll do that then. But thank you guys, and thank you for all your hard work. Oh, and regarding the pool, the swim program, I know that was something that was brought up during the budget at not the last council meeting, but the one before that, the possible budget cuts. And I know you mentioned the lack of staffing, the lack of hours cut on Friday. Has that been reinstated? Has
Yes.
the swim program been?
It has been reinstated. The Fridays we are open again, but I think there's still maybe a few, I don't know if it's the full hours that we were prior to, and that's not because of budget. It's mostly because of due to staffing issues. We have to have enough lifeguards and all that stuff to be able to open everything full capacity.
And is the budget affecting the program in terms of the positions, or because my understanding is that the budget was supposed to not affect the
It's
program, but I was confused as to how the budget would affect the positions if they were vacant.
Well, it's not, I mean, yes, it's a yes and no. I think some of it is due to budget, but there's also, it is in a roundabout way. I think just, it's hard to retain lifeguards when they can go work for the city of LA and get paid like 1.5 times what they're getting paid here. So in that sense, yes. And again, it's hard to keep staff on
Got it.
when, you know what I mean, when then you have wages that are higher elsewhere.
But you're not precluded from filling those positions.
No, we're not. It's just, yeah, it's just hard to just keep them and to retain them.
But I mean, those parents spoke nothing but well of the program. And
Right.
It just speaks to all the programs we offer.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I totally understand the preemptive measures taken.
Mr. Palacio?
Yeah, thanks for the update, Tina. I just have a few questions. That switch over for the credit card,
Uh-huh.
has that happened before, or was it?
Well,
first time?
so the switchover, yes and no again. What happened before was that we changed over. We used to have a different software system that we utilized, and it wasn't working for us. And they came out with like a new 2.0 or feature of it, but it actually offered less amenities for us to be able to utilize, and so it was no longer working for us. So when we switched over from what was called eTrack, I think it was eTrack, yeah, from eTrack to Civic Plus. It was right before I got here when they switched that over, so I can't remember what it was called. But so eTrack to Civic Plus, we had to start all over again because it was a whole different system, right? So that was the first time it happened, and it seemed like we had just gotten that going, and all of a sudden, now a year and a half later, they switch over to this whole new credit card thing, and with that new changeover, we had to redo it all over again. So we had just built it back up to almost to the point where we were initially prior to the first time we did it. And so now we're trying to get back.
Okay. Is there a plan, maybe if this situation arises again, is there a plan to maybe avoid having to lose that many?
We honestly on our end, we try to do everything, but we try to figure out with finance, like how do we do this? Because we try to explain that that's a lot of revenue loss for us. Because when people are paying memberships, it's recurring, right? Whether they come to the gym or not, it's just recurring. But we tried our best to see how we could, like, was there a workaround or whatever? But unfortunately, in this case, there wasn't. So when possible, we will always try to do everything possible to not have to start over again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I know you mentioned that the new social media staff member is
Yeah.
acclimated and pretty much firing on all cylinders, right? What are some of the things that we should look forward to in terms of like, frequency of post or just overall, do we expect some sort of increase in registrations for programming and that kind of result?
Well, that is ultimately the hope, right? That as we're posting more things and people are seeing what's going on, that people will come and register. I know right now this is her first time doing the brochure. So as when she came in, the other brochure was already being done. We had to get it outside, like outsource it because we didn't have anybody in that position. So this is her first time doing that. I think once she gets to this first go round of producing her first brochure for the fall, she'll definitely get back on track with keeping everything. But she really is trying to set up some sort of a schedule so that, because posting things, it's very important, like the time frame and the
Right.
day of the week and all that stuff. So I think she's really trying to utilize there's like different programs or softwares out there that you can utilize so that you can set it up in advance. So she can pre-program, like this post is going to go on this day, that post is going to go that, and you set it up so that it's not so much work like, oh my gosh, I got to post this at this time, and it'll all be done ahead of time. But right now she's just trying to get through that brochure process. And then hopefully once we get her on a schedule, she can on every Monday, maybe post for aquatics, and every Tuesday and Thursday post for adult sports or youth sports, something like that. You know what I mean? So trying to get on some sort of schedule. So we
Okay.
have just a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks. Lastly, I know you mentioned the egg hunt, and I know that last time when HSA was here, they expressed or they were willing to work with us. Has anything developed on that end in terms of working with you and having like I think we discussed something for like autistic sort of
Children?
community. Has anything developed with that?
Nothing at this point. As we get closer to the time frame of planning out our next season, we'll have staff reach out to them to see how we can work together and collaborate on that.
Okay, yeah. And then I guess I'd like to echo my colleagues in terms of some of this programs. I myself have been involved in volunteer programs, and I know how tough it is, and I know that it's a lot of hard work. So thank you guys for donating that time. And I know that I wasn't part of the JAA, but I have many friends that have been part of it, and they've expressed good reviews and good comments about that. So hopefully this is not something that can be dealt with, and I trust that the JAA has a process by which they can resolve these issues and keep it at a minimum. So thank you for that, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you. So just a couple of questions on my end. Number one, thank you. I know this is just one quarter, so there's
Wasn't
3 other
even
quarters to
annual.
go, right? So thank you for that. On the social media, it just says social media. What platforms are they using for social media? Because
Typically, it's
I haven't
it's-
seen
it's
anything
Instagram
on
and
my platform. So
usually it's on Instagram and Facebook. Is what they're usually.
okay,
Yeah.
because I've reached out several times to add my platform there, and nothing. Only city manager. City.
The ci- I
I'll
think-
get certain things.
No, there was I know that there was an issue with them because you're on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So I guess there was an issue with the city utilizes Instagram and it automatically posts to Facebook. So there's some sort of an issue that they're unable to tag you from Instagram to Facebook. And that's the issue, is that they don't.
Well, if she's qualified, she should be able to figure that part out. Because I get other stuff from the city that post to my page.
Correct.
To get the
Because the
message out
city
there for
posts
city
directly
stuff,
to
so-
Facebook.
Yeah.
So because they post directly to Facebook, so to make it easier, so she don't have to make 2 separate posts, it goes from Instagram to Facebook, and there's
well,
no.
I mean, there's
way
one
to-
thing about making it easy and getting it out to the public. So, I mean, we should at least try
Right.
to do that so that we can get more stuff
So-
out there. I mean,
So what I'll probably have to do is
you're-
ask
you're
Giselle.
missing 14,000 people.
I'll probably have to get with Giselle and work with our
Yeah.
on them on that end, so that because they can actually tag you in it because they
Exactly.
have that. So we'll have to figure out some way to once she posts it, have them tag you in it.
Yep.
So I'll speak with Giselle about that.
Yeah, that'd be the easiest thing to do. Other questions I have on the team programming. You have 11 to 17-year-olds and some high school seniors. Is there a limit on the amount of people? I mean, we have a lot of children
No,
or teens in this area. The girls' clubhouse is only so big, so
right,
what
and
are
the
you-
room
what are
and
you
the
looking
room's
at?
only so big because
Huh?
again, and the room's only so big.
yeah, exactly. So that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Is there a limit that what you're trying to achieve here?
At this
I know
point,
teens are very hard to get
yes.
into these type of programs, so I'm interested in seeing what kind of outreach you're going to have and what kind of programs you're going to have for them.
Right,
But I'm also concerned about the size.
right. I
If
mean,
it does become fun enough, then people are going to want to attend.
no, absolutely. At this point, we're just trying to create an area or space because there's nothing in existence at this point, and I guess it
Yeah.
hasn't been for quite some time. So we got a space going. They're painting it. They've got a TV or a couple TVs in there. We're trying to get, we're hoping to get some Wi-Fi in there because the kids, everybody's on their phones or on whatever, trying to get some video games and just some stuff that's going to be interesting to them in there to bring them in. And then once we start to get them through the door, hopefully put on some other events that are not necessarily inside that room because there's only so much you could do within that space. But being that we have a 100-acre park right outside the door, I'm sure that we can come up with activities and different things to do, or even possible trips and things. So, but with the teen community, I don't anticipate they're all going to be just, flying in. It is difficult. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
times with the teens, the rule of thumb is if you feed them, they will come. So, possibly doing something like that just to kind of get them through the door to see what we have to offer.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Mhm.
And then on as far as I don't know if you know the answer to this or not, but I saw a post for the art walk that was going to be at the park this time instead of here at
Yes.
City Hall.
Yes.
Do we have a date on that?
It's
I know it's there.
October
I just don't remember.
4th.
October 4th. Okay.
October 4th is the for Art Walk. Yeah. And it's going to be at the park. They're calling it the Park Takeover. It's the 5th year, I believe it is. So they're calling it the Park Takeover, and they're going to do something a little bit different this year.
Okay. And be similar to what was out here with the bands and
Sort of, but I know she
Booths
was
and
looking
things
at
like that.
changing some things up. So I have not sat down with Jen to exactly go over
I kind of
everything.
like I said, I'm trying to
but similar.
remember what I saw. I saw live music. I
Yeah.
saw other stuff. So
It'll be
it was
similar.
very encouraging the last one. So I mean, it was fun to see the
Yeah.
booths and
Yeah.
people selling their art and
Mhm.
the bands playing. I mean, form of art as well. So I look forward to that.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for your report. Very detailed. So I appreciate that. Again, only one quarter. So wow, just all that squeezed in one quarter. A fun quarter because of springtime. A lot of activities going on. So I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Can I get a motion to receive and file?
This is Liz. I so move.
We second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Number 2, review of grounds and facilities maintenance, fourth quarter, fiscal year 24-25.
Good evening, Commissioners. On the grounds maintenance side, in the golf course, the greens were aerated, they were fertilized, 4 ball wash stations were repaired, and at Cesar Chavez Park, all the planter beds were mulched and 35 sprinklers were repaired. At Hollydale Regional Park, a 3-inch water main was repaired and 6 broken lateral lines. Very sandy soil we have, and so we're prone to soil movement, and you're going to experience more irrigation repairs because of that. And thus, because of the sandy soil, our irrigation boxes sink. Mowers, trucks, and such travel over them, so that pushes them down. To avoid breaking the pipes there, I asked everybody to raise them up and put boards, bricks, or whatever to keep them in place. We've ordered 2 John Deere tractors to replace 2 of our current ones that are failing, and there's a little typo. They're supposed to arrive in October. We caught over 165 gophers throughout city parks this quarter and planted 2 crepe myrtle trees and added mulch in the planters at Triangle Park. And you're going to see more what we call in the industry syringe cycling. That's running the irrigations, essentially checking it during the day, and also giving some additional water to the turf. You're going to notice areas where it dries out, and that the most prone ones are where we have slopes, hills, and especially Southgate Park, Hollydale. So we have to do extra watering during the day to cover that. Park facility maintenance, staff set up and hosted a variety of events, which are listed in the report. And due to high usage at Southgate Park, we continue with the 3rd day inspection and cleaning of outside restrooms. Our disinfection program is still ongoing. We use the C3 machine and disinfectants. We purchased a new auto scrubber to service our building, our floors. And it does a great job in disinfecting, better than a mop. And during this period, the glass door closures that you see in the front and on the side of the building at the auditorium, the closers that are on the bottom of the ground were replaced. They're very old. The building was built in the 1950s. Staff schedules have been adjusted, and the last quarter, we received a new employee. We're going to get a new one pretty soon. So I try to encourage my supervisors to take the new staff that come on board to get the experience of roaming around more. So you're going to see them doing the jobs such as outside restrooms and such, and assisting staff, and then growing into other positions where they're routinely going to be cleaning a building or doing setups and such. And our community service program is ongoing. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Secretary Escobar, any questions?
No, I just wanted to make the same comment that I always do, that you guys are always diligent in addressing all the complaints I put through the app. And so thanks.
You're welcome.
There's a lot of tagging. It's crazy.
Yes, there is.
But it's great to see all the parks maintained very well, and just the work that's been going around redoing the restrooms, because I think as far as parks maintenance go, that's been one of the biggest, I'm assuming it's probably one of the biggest complaints. It's just how they get left by certain park attendants. And so I think it's great to see that. And as far as some of these parks go, have there been any of the trees being cut off? I know that the citywide program had cut down a lot of the trees that were considered liabilities. Did that also go into the parks? And if so, were those trees replaced, or is there a plan to replace?
Okay, in Southgate Parks, we have a tree company that serves, an outside tree company that contracts, the city contracts, Public Works contracts with, we use their services. And so as part of that, they have arborists on board, certified tree arborists. And we rely on their expertise to identify potential trees that are of a risk. And then we do take measures to remove the tree, grind the tree out, and if it is appropriate, because you got to take into consideration you've got a lot of roots that you can't, when you grind up a tree, you can't get all of the spreading roots. So you got to give the soil time to do its thing and essentially break everything
Decompose.
down. And it's very challenging in some of those places to quickly put in a replacement tree. Our goal is when we take out one large tree, that we essentially plant 3 15-gallon trees, with the knowledge that and experience that it's a large park, it's heavily used. There's a lot of folks that unfortunately don't appreciate the fact that we may plant a new tree where it's at. And just because trees are a living organism, they do tend to die,
Yeah.
and especially when they're young. So we do that. So you're going to see areas where I have had staff plant trees kind of in a close bunching area, and they tend to thrive. And other areas where you're going to see 3 or 4 and the one dies. That's just the way it goes. And sometimes trees, they grow and they break, and you've got to remove them because of the potential liability.
Yeah.
So I don't, and plus our trees tend to grow very large.
Yeah.
It's quite a challenge to trim anywhere near 30%. You never trim more than 30% of a tree. That is the general rule.
Yeah.
And so I try to use a 15% rule. And yeah, they will come, some tree species will come back faster, such as ficus varieties, tropical variety trees, versus the more European or other parts of the world. They tend to do okay with that, the 15%. So I really try to avoid removing trees unnecessarily throughout the parks, is my point.
Yeah, and my main question has kind of stems to just the I mean, I don't know if we could even call what we experienced a heat wave because it is California.
Right.
And it could be worse, but I know that a lot of people, especially during the summer, were going to the park for shade. And so in some of the new parks, as beautiful as they are, it was really hard to go some days because the trees are so young. And so I'm curious if there is an effort to spend the extra cash to get some of the bigger trees to already provide more shade, and if there's any plans to maybe even bring some shade structures. I know when we had the grand opening for the urban orchard, Barragan was talking to the mayor about, bringing in some shade structures, hopefully if more money comes in. And so I'm kind of curious if that's something that maybe if there is a wish list somewhere down anywhere.
That is something I would need to speak with Steve about, but I'm not sure at this time.
Yeah, no, I know we're in a budget crunch, but
Yes.
I think it's definitely something to consider, considering the increase in heat every year and just the amount of folks that kind of look for cool places to hang out.
I think at places like Urban Orchard, those tree species will grow very, very fast, faster than I would appreciate.
Oh, yeah, I know that's always touchy too with trees, just because they, as there are grants for them, the maintenance is probably the hardest thing to contemplate and keep track of.
There's some additional challenges we face with parks like the parks along Southern Avenue and Holiday Regional Park, and there's some height requirements
Yeah.
growing under or near power lines. And
That's
so
true.
I'll just say it right now. I was going to say it later on, but I have to come back to Holiday Regional Park, even though I trimmed it last year, and it was trimmed appropriately. And unfortunately, I've had to do this twice since I've been the park superintendent, and that's been 22 years, is to go back and have them brought down to about 15, 20 feet in some cases, because that's their requirement as part of our lease.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I'm going to have that happen here very soon. So it's just some of the challenges we face. And the majority of trees, they came back with a vengeance. I, as a matter of fact, toured because the current ground supervisor has never had to deal with this, and he was in shock when I told him this. Yeah, I said, I've had to do this before, and I took him there this afternoon, and I showed him. You could see on the trees where I had them trimmed before. Yes, that was a while back, and so it's higher now, but they survived, essentially.
Well, yeah, and then the groundwater is probably pretty shallow there, feeding the roots. So
Very sandy soil, though.
yeah,
Yeah, but we have to really pour the water on at that park, and it's reclaimed water, sandy soil, so it doesn't hold the salts, say like in clay soils, and it leaches out, so that's good. And the types of trees that we plant there are not. I try to avoid pine trees and cedars and such at that park, because I found that reclaimed water and cedar trees and pine trees, acid-loving trees, those types of trees don't do well. We lost, as a matter of fact, a couple dozen trees whenever we switched that in 1994. So.
oh wow.
So that's in 1994, we came through and we planted 250 trees in that park.
Oh wow. It's good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Palaio?
Just good job keeping up. And that 165 count for the gopher, is that above the average or below the average? I know that in the past it's been like 150 or something like that, right?
It depends on who's catching them. I have some staff that have deep reservations about performing that task, and I have others that enjoy it immensely. So it depends on who's very busy and who's might spend the extra time to do it. So you're going to see some averages. Sometimes it'll be lower because, look, if you go through and you say, for instance, the parks along Southern Avenue, the gophers didn't start out there. They had to come from somewhere else. So that's one factor. Factor is once they start to live in the park, I'm highly encouraging staff to remove them because they're going to procreate. And so once they procreate, you're going to have many more. So, and they do it 2 or 3 times a year. So it just depends on those factors.
That's all I have.
Okay, I don't have any other comments. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate your
Certainly.
efforts.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to receive and file?
Make a motion.
Second.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, next up, item number 3, update on Parks and Recreation Department major projects.
All right, good evening again. So as you guys are aware, we have Southgate has many, many parks and is over 185 acres worth of landscape throughout the parks and the community centers and the support facilities throughout the city. Some of the projects that we have was the auditorium roofing project, and so that one has been an issue for several years with the leaky roof. There is estimated cost of 1.2 million, and we currently have 1.2 million for it. However, more recently, the project has gone from a roofing project to a roofing and an AC project. So currently Public Works is working on that one, trying to make sure they have the funding to cover both the roofing and the AC unit. As far as the recreation huts, so we all know we have 8 buildings that the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts utilize that needed roofing to be done. The estimated cost is a lot higher than what our current funding is. With that being said, we also have another project that kind of ties in with it. We actually just met with the Boy Scouts this past Monday, and that is because the city needs to build a PFAS water treatment plant, and we're trying to figure out a way to build the PFAS treatment plant and utilize some of the funding from that, because anywhere you build that PFAS treatment, you are going to have to replace whatever it is that you take out. So we figured, in looking at everything, if we removed a couple of the huts that were there, we'd be able to get funding to replace a few of those huts. So that would help out funding wise to replace some of those huts that are just in really, really poor condition. And so that is something that we're working on now. And there's some CDBG money that goes along with that. So that 120,000 that you see for the current funding, that's from the CDBG funding. So that's what's going on with those areas. As far as Circle Park goes, the construction is still going. It's still ongoing. The new plan, I guess, is to have the opening in October, which is, again, just later than what we've had anticipated. However, for whatever reason, the company is moving a lot slower than stated initially. And so we're just being as patient as possible as we wait for that park to open up. But so far, the futsal courts, the basketball courts, the playground, and pickleball courts have already been installed. So it's finally starting to come together and look more like a park. In regards to Hollydale Community Park, that project was completed in January. We had a nice grand opening for that, and so far is going well. We've been showing our movie nights the last 2 Fridays over there. So that park is complete. Southgate Fence Project, that one we started in 2024, and it was completed in September of 2024. And all of our baseball diamonds look very nice, along with the aquatorium or our swim stadium gate around it, the blue gate around it. And the baseball diamonds even has a couple extra things added to them with the yellow topper for you can see the home runs a lot easier. As far as our urban orchard, that's our newest 7-acre park that we just had the grand opening for on July 12th. And that park is up and running, and it's beautiful. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, make sure you stop by and see it. As far as the scoreboard replacement, we sent everything out to bid. We are now just waiting for it to arrive, and it's coming from overseas. So with that, it just takes a little bit longer, but we're finally excited that it has already been shipped over. So we just anticipate its arrival, and that'll be a nice scoreboard that's going to go in the sports center. So it's going to replace the existing scoreboards that have been there for many, many, many years. And we have additional amenities to the scoreboard, like a shot clock and a couple other things that are going to be a nice addition, especially for like our men's leagues and stuff that will appreciate that. And then the swim stadium scoreboard, that one also we had some issues with because at the time we were dealing with trying to secure a scoreboard that was coming from Asia, China, whatever, and there was some issues with all of the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, and some other things. So it took a little bit longer, and then once we did find the one we were looking for and all that stuff, they said, oh no, if you do it now, it's going to cost an additional X amount of dollars, which now puts us over the limit that we have for the funding that we have. So now we have to go with an alternative scoreboard that's not exactly what we wanted, but nevertheless, it's going to be better than what we have, and it's going to work. But yeah, so that tariffs really messed us up with that one. And then the Gardendale tot lot surfacing, that's to replace the rubberized surfacing on that playground area. So we have the estimated cost at $120,000. We have the funding for $120,000 now. It's time for us to go out to bid very soon for that project. So,
Thank you. Secretary Escobar, any comments?
No comments.
Vice Chair Reese?
For the auditorium roof project, is it more monetary? Does it make sense monetarily combining, taking care of both the roof and the AC at the same time?
yes, because to do one and then to do another and have to do additional work later is just going to be cost more money than in the long run.
And for the recreational hut treatment plan, I think it's, like I said, you guys always figure out a way. And it's just, I mean, I'm really hoping it comes through because PFAS is definitely something that needs to get treated. And thankfully, it hasn't been an issue in our city. And I'm really glad that they've been keeping an eye on it. And hopefully, these scout hut areas finally get taken care of, because I know it's been an eyesore for a long time.
It's not nowhere near set in stone. We just had our first meeting with the scouts, so we're just letting them know and trying to get their input and their involvement in it, so that we can just make sure it's a win-win for everybody if that's the direction that we all decide to go.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what the treatment plan will look like, but I think my only concern would be just the storage of the chemicals, the waste, to make sure that it's secured. I know that at sites where I've dealt with, where my husband has dealt with, we've had trouble with people breaking in and stealing stuff, and even barrels. Sometimes when we do extractions of contamination, we store them in barrels, and people steal those just for the metal waste, and they end up dumping the stuff, God knows where. So it can be scary, but I think that's definitely something to
Just for your own peace of mind, the plan is it will have a big, huge, I forgot the height, was it 20 feet? 20 feet, a 20-foot wall that would go all the way around it.
Oh, okay.
So, and then it will have some landscape in front of it, so it doesn't look like a big eyesore or a big thing in the way. So, I mean, again, nothing is set, but this is the preliminary plans. That's what it looks like. So it would safety first, making sure that, that things are done in a safe manner.
Yeah,
Have you-
that's good.
Have you seen, gone down Tweedy Boulevard and you can see those two tanks, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, envision that. So
Oh,
it's going to be a wall, and then I suggested to Chris to put ficus repens, like what's at the police department, and then you can plant 5 gallons, 15 gallon size. They'll grow faster. And then a variety of plant tree that Podocarpus macrophylla, that kind of, they're at the back of the PD. I don't know if you're back, way in the back, between
Yeah.
the courthouse, that parking lot, they're against the wall. And there's some in the back. And when you're driving along the back of City Hall, nice. They don't grow very fast, but when they grow during the summertime, but over time, they make a nice conical plant. Oh, so in front of each pillar, you put one of those. It'll look nice.
no, that's
Yeah.
great. But
So
I mean, you guys are making it happen, hopefully. And with the Circle Park, I know this was something that was brought up at the council meeting, and y'all mentioned just some of the delays being related to changes that were added. Were those changes not anticipated at the beginning, or because it kind of says estimated cost 7 million, and the current funding is 7 million, so it wasn't always that cost, right? I mean,
No.
I don't remember off the top of
I
my
believe
head.
it was, I believe that was a cost, correct? That was a cost. It's just some of the changes that came through are like with the gate and with certain things, because we're Circle Park, we're dealing with actually the nursery that you have behind it. So there's certain people have to have access to certain things, but we want to make sure that it's a gate that we can close up at night, so we don't have people just riffraff driving in there or, causing any kind of problems or anything like that. So there's different changes that came through, and then just as a reminder that we're on Edison property, so some changes have come through because we have a change due to Edison's rules, regulations, so different things like that have happened.
And we're
um,
having pickleball courts there,
There's
right? So
there's one pickleball court
for,
there. as
for the
well.
person who brought up the pickleballs, yeah, definitely use that place up.
Yeah.
For the Holladale Community Park, I learned the hard way that, and I haven't really seen announcements related to cooling centers, but that's a cooling center in essence, right? I took my kid there recently and found out that you can just go inside the building and play in there with all the
No.
toys, no?
So that was actually, there was an issue with one of the doors that did not latch correctly.
So we were just
So,
trespassing?
yeah, it was an issue, but we actually we found out about it and we got staff out there to go over there and secure it. But no, typically it's not just a cooling center and it's not open to the
Oh.
public on a regular basis. It is staffed there in the evenings and we have different programs. They check out balls to the community and they do different things. But specifically on the day that you're talking about, I know exactly what day you're talking about. We got phone calls saying that, hey, the building is unlocked. So we got staff there.
No, because the parents were like, oh yeah, come in, there's
And
toys
because we
and
had the
coloring.
coloring sheets and all
Yeah,
that
they
stuff
had
in there,
coloring
because it's
sheets.
ready so that when it's staffed, we provide that stuff. We do provide those services. It's just when they're staffed. But again, it wasn't
Yeah, and
the
I was
people's
gonna
fault.
bring that up. I didn't
Yeah.
see a staff person there, so I was
Yeah.
like, what? Why are people just?
No, there was a mistake with the door. So trying to get that door fixed so that we don't have those issues. And then just reminding staff, double check everything before you leave so that.
But the
on
door's
doors.
fixed already, right?
They were fixing it. I don't know if it ever did it. Okay, they did. fix
Okay,
it.
because I was gonna say that we're on.
Yeah. No, we put something in immediately. So
Might go
if
over
you
again.
see it open again,
I'll
let
you
us
guys
know.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that's a good program to have. We should make more.
An unmanned park.
announcements.
Unmanned park. Yeah.
It's a new park. It's going to have bugs. So
Yeah, no,
Rec leader and training program. You're going to be the rec leader.
I think she's making a recommendation to have something like that.
should. It was great. No budget.
There you go.
I'll just be there.
Cost efficiency.
and that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Palayo?
Yeah, so just a few things regarding that PFAS treatment plant or facility. Is that gonna take the place of some of the buildings that are already there, or
Two of the huts. One of them is our recreation hut, which is Hut 3, which belongs to our Parks and Rec department, and then one of them is one of the Boy Scout huts buildings. But there are two vacant buildings there, so it wouldn't impact them a whole lot. We'd have to move them if we went that route and everything goes according to what's being
Proposed.
discussed now or proposed. They would be able to move into a different hut for the time being until,
so is it gonna be we're gonna lose some huts, but we're gonna gain the
we'll gain them in
plant?
the end. So they will be replaced.
And have there been any other discussions about other locations other than just the
There have been, I know even at the meeting, they're all asking why can't we move it inside the golf course area, but trying to explain to them that there's some piping issues, there's a bunch of different lines and different things. Somebody asked what about by the girls clubhouse, there's another well on that side, and the different areas that they looked at, it's not possible because of what are other things that are underground and such like that.
okay. Yeah, well, hopefully,
So that was the best
sounds
location.
like, yeah, it sounds like it could be a good, like,
It's a
two for one,
win-win.
basically.
That's how
right?
we saw it, more of a win-win. But again, nothing's set in stone. We're barely in the preliminary stages for that.
Okay. Regarding the 1.2 million on the auditorium roof, that's only for the roof, right? Not including the AC, or is that
Initially,
also?
that was for the roof. That wasn't including the AC. It was just the roof. And so now that we've added the AC into it, that's why it's taking a little bit longer because they have to secure additional funding for it. And
Yeah.
that's been a little bit of the holdup.
think about it this way. That air conditioning system's been there since before
Yeah.
I started working for the city, 32 years ago.
So if you're going to do all that, spend all that money to do the roof,
Yeah, you might as well
and
take it.
you know what needs to be done, you might as well just wait and get it all done together.
Do we know where that extra funding came from?
I'm not sure. I know Public Works was working on that, so I don't, it
Okay.
wasn't something that we worked on specifically.
Let's see here. The whatever's pending on the fence project
Oh, that's
for the
completed.
golf and the diamond line, that's already included in
Yeah,
that
that's
1.2?
completed. All that's been completed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the swim stadium scoreboard.
Yeah.
Were there also going to be pads replaced in the
Yes.
pool? Is that
So
also
all
part
that-
of this?
All that was part of it. And so, like I said, the one that we really, really wanted to get, unfortunately, it's not going to work just because of the way that the tariffs and it put us over budget.
Okay. And I guess last question I have, I know that there were some funds allocated for cabinets in the Girl Scout area.
Mhm.
I think there was like a divider.
Oh, the
in
cabinets were in the girls clubhouse.
The girls
Yes.
clubhouse, and then the divider for the sports center, I guess, to separate the sports while they're
The
simultaneously.
gym divider,
Yeah.
yes,
And then shades for diamonds like 9 and 10.
yes.
Do you have an update on that?
So staff, I mean, those are all fairly large projects that staff are working on. So aside from doing their regular duties, they've finished quite a few of the RFPs so that they can go out to bid. So they've already submitted quite a few of those. I think they're still missing one more, I believe. I know there's been about 3 or 4 of them that have gone through because there's quite a few. And so they're going to start moving forward on those as soon as they go out to bid.
Okay. That's all I have. Thanks.
I had one quick question for the fence project. Did it get addressed? Because I know you brought up the issue with it not necessarily being replaced all the way around, where there was still access for some of the kids.
No, it never got it.
No,
On Diamond 9.
That hasn't
not yet.
I don't think
They
they plan to
said
fix it either.
No, they haven't done it yet. They said they didn't have the funding for it.
We didn't have the funding to,
So where
to
the little
finish that
kids
off,
play,
so-
they didn't finish it out.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like not covered completely. But no, they haven't addressed it yet.
so I don't know if, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that at a later time, but as of right now, funding wise, like we don't have anything allocated toward it.
Oh, got it. Thanks.
And we use up everything for the,
Apparently. Thank you for this report. Just a couple of questions on my end. As far as the recreational huts, I know you made a comment that they've been bad for a very long time. And this is a new option that you're coming up with, but why is there such a low priority on these huts? And it's maybe something you can't answer. You haven't been with the city long enough to maybe know what's been happening for years and years and years. But it's very disappointing to see that only $120,000 have been allocated to the huts after so many years. I mean, I understand there's other projects that are important, but as a former Boy Scout, I mean, I used that raggedy hut when I was 13 years old, and so now, I mean, that's 40 years ago. So, I mean, I'd just like to know something like that. If you could find out for me and why it's such a low priority. But
Glenn might have an answer for it because
It's a
he's
funding
there now.
issue. It's a funding issue because it's been called the Boy Scout area forever. And so it's not necessarily being shared. If you look at most of grants, you gotta look at the sports center. Everybody uses it. Everybody can use it. It's not just for city residents anymore, like it was when it first opened. So there's been some challenges along the way, and there's been some challenges on their part. And so it's just working those things out to get to where we're at now. I'm happy that we've got this much to start with, and getting the water department's assistance. They have a goal, and that is the best place to put it. You got to look at the fact that there's 4 wells in Southgate Park right next to each other.
Yeah.
And there's a humongous reservoir underneath parking lot number 2 between the golf course and goals. I remember when I
Right.
started working with the city, there was a big hole right there. I was like, whoa. So that's the best place to put it. Right where those wells are. The piping goes right down the fairway, straight shot to well 19 and to the reservoir. I was there when it was all built. So yeah, plop it there, cut in your pipes, hook it up. So there's an advantage.
I'm not arguing with what
Yeah, but
I
then-
said. It's a great idea.
But
No,
then to,
But my
but the-
problem is
No.
120,000 for
But yeah,
Like you said, when it comes out to grant funding,
Yeah.
there's stipulations and restrictions, and it can only be utilized for certain things. And because that was designated as the Boy Scout area, so if you look on your sheet in front of you, it no longer says that. It says recreation huts
right.
because
Exactly. That's what I'm
now
thinking too.
it's, you can do a little bit more with a less specific term.
so Director Costley's come up with some ideas, and we're working with the Boy Scouts to kind of come together on it all.
Mhm.
I know that CDBG has set money aside in the past, but it just got.
Yeah.
That's what that 120
That's
is.
what
That
120
is CDBG money,
But in the
that was-
past, it's already been set and it's just been
Yes.
used for other
other things, right?
Yeah. So we've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other comment on Circle Park, the October date. How confident are we on that October date?
We're pretty confident with that date. We are pretty confident with that date. I don't know if you've driven by there,
Yeah, I
but
have.
you can tell finally
Many times.
it looks like there's some progress that has been made. So we're pretty confident that the October date should stand. Or before it was like, oh no.
Yeah, I pass by like once every other week at least.
Yeah.
I go that way, and so I
Right.
see the progress. But yeah, I'm glad at least
Yeah.
October is solid. I mean that's positive. Last question on the urban orchard. I had asked about a bike path entrance. I
What was
use that bike path, and
A bike-
is there going to be a
To the
bike path
riverbed?
entrance? Yeah, to the riverbed. Yeah.
I'm not sure where, I think that might come into play when they start on phase 2 or B or whatever it is, because that's on the other side. But as for right now, I don't believe that's part of the plan. I think that's might be part of the phase 2 plan, because like I said, that is on the opposite end of the Bandini Channel area.
Yeah, because it would probably draw a lot of traffic to utilize. Because right now I don't see the traffic since it's hard to get to that park. You know, you're going into the freeway, you're doing those other stuff, so it's not something that's probably highly utilized. And so
Right.
by having a bike path entrance, it probably draw a little bit more. I mean,
I think,
you
I think
could
it could be
even
a
put
good
some
thing and
other
a
stuff
bad
there.
thing.
I think you'd be
But-
surprised at how much use there is. Park rangers have been keeping me appraised of, abreast of what's going on. They were shocked. I mean, the park ranger was there. Oh, I got 20, 40 people to clear out here at dusk, you know? So yeah, it's pretty good use.
They probably all live right there.
But I think
But-
the good side of having the bike path is people can utilize it. The bad side is that there's also a lot of transients in the areas or the homeless population that come through there. So you're giving them direct access to and from the park a lot more easier.
But
So
even during the day, there's a lot of use. I was there today, and we were like, whoa, the parking lot's full. And it wasn't contractors. There was a few contractors in the back, but they had their truck in the back. And we were blown away. It's just,
All 4 spots were full.
no, there's a row. There's like
15.
Yeah, there's 15 spots, and they were all full. We had to park off to the side. So, and there was kids playing in the playing ground, people walking on the pathways.
Great.
It was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got in the last spot a few times.
Yeah, it's just I'm somebody that utilizes the bike path, and so
Yeah.
it would be nice to just be able to drive off the bike path
Yeah.
into that park. You know, I go into Hollandale Park pretty easily on the bike
So-
path. So
Look forward to that in phase 2.
yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. That's all I have. So there's no other comments. Can I get a motion to receive and
Wait,
file?
I would make a quick comment about the maybe getting signs, because I know it's very tricky to get to the urban orchard. So maybe
Yeah.
putting some more signs, and maybe even one that says "keep going." Almost there.
You're almost
Almost
there.
there.
You're almost there.
I think what Alan's gonna do is ride his bike with a GoPro and lead everyone
Yeah,
there, right?
there
And
you
just
go, yeah.
post it on your social media feed.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Just a quick question: the parking lot that is north of Urban Orchard. So the grand opening, there was like a dirt
Yes.
lot. Is that gonna be a parking lot, or is that was that just used for
That's
that day?
technically not our area, our land, our property. That's actually Edison, correct? Or
In
is that
between,
Water?
in between Urban Orchard and then the big tank.
The dirt parking
There's
lot
a
where they
dirt
have the 100
piece there.
stalls.
That's not ours.
That's technically
That was
not
just
ours.
temporarily used.
That was
for the
temporarily.
development.
Temporarily not supposed to be, but yeah.
Temporarily and officially used.
I didn't say anything then.
Can you please erase that from the record? Alan?
These are not the droids you're looking for. Okay, can I get a motion to receive and file, please? Second. Anybody?
Oh,
Give me a
oh,
second.
I second.
I thought you seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 4, report of activities for Halloween.
Right. So we have our recreation coordinator, Solomon Lopez, who's going to report on Halloween.
Hi, good evening, honorable Parks and Recreation Commissioners. My name is Salomon Lopez. Help Tina introduce me. I'm here on behalf of Nikki Salazar, our recreational manager, to report on our activities for Halloween. This year for Halloween, this year's Halloween hunt will take place on both locations. One is going to be on Hollandale Community Park on Saturday, October 25th from 6 to 9. As well as Southgate Park, Friday, October 31st from 6 to 9. We're really thrilled and excited to bring Halloween spirit back to Hollandale Community Park. Our team has planned an exciting and brand new concept. Guests can look forward to the festive game booths, trick-or-treat fun areas, lively costume contest, and music with the live DJ, keeping the energy alive. Okay. To top it off, we're going to wrap off the evening with the special Halloween theme movie, screened under the Southgate stars. Our Halloween hunt here in Southgate Park was such success last year with its complete revamp that we're going to be utilizing the similar setup and itinerary with a couple minor modifications. All participants will still see the department show mobile as a main stage with the festive Halloween decor. Our annual costume contest, game booths, our train ride, Halloween arts and crafts, our DJ as well. The costume contest will be judged by members of the City Council and Parks and Recreation Commissions. So you guys are invited. Who will be have the challenging task to select the winners in 3 categories across all age groups. Get ready for fun and exciting with the game booths out in the diamond number 3 area, offering interacting challenges to sure delight guests of all ages. Over diamond number 4, we're gonna have you're gonna be able to hop on our trackless train, running on a continuously loop, ready to welcome 16 to 24 riders per trip. And also, don't miss the music. We're not going to be missing the music with the DJ, with the high energy, with playing today's hits and classic Halloween tunes. Southgate residents are in a special treat this year. We're actually going to be featuring a new Spooky Village. It's a maze of Halloween themed canopies that will be offering an efficient trick-or-treating experience. Inflatables, we're going to have inflatables grouped by age groups to ensure the safety and enjoyable experience for all. Let's not forget the little ones. We're going to be dedicating, we're going to have a taller area, soft play area for them as well. We're going to have a photo ops scattered throughout the event, featuring new themed sets, backdrops, and interactive photo booths that print out and text your pictures instantly. And then also we're going to have food trucks. There's going to be a seating where they're going to be able to, the patrons and participants are going to be able to sit and enjoy their tasty treats and sweet desserts. Yes, so that's going to be our events and activities for Halloween.
And there's one more feature you forgot to mention.
Oh,
New
yes.
add-on.
So this is not added, so it just got recently added. We're actually going to be having a fireworks show as well. I know due to 4th of July, I know it was canceled, so we couldn't do the fireworks show, but I got the good news. I think it was yesterday
Yesterday or 2 days ago.
or yes, where we're going to be adding our fireworks show. So that's going to be taking place at 8:45 p.m. to conclude the Halloween hunt here at Southgate Park on the 31st.
We try to utilize the money that was already spent for 4th of July. We don't want to just lose it and let it go to waste.
Right.
So we were able to, we technically had, they give you so many days in which you can still have the fireworks show, and Halloween was just outside those dates, but they were willing to work with us and accommodate us to host it. And we figured, where are we going to get, what event can we do this at that's going to benefit the majority of the community, or as many community members as possible in one location. So Halloween, because it's such a large event, it's our biggest event that we put on for special events. So we said, well, let's do Halloween, and so that we can, more, because they put on an event and only have a few hundred people there, the community doesn't get to enjoy it. So we're hoping that many people come.
It's a
out to
Friday,
see it.
so it's kind of cool.
Friday, and then
it's a Friday. Yeah. So the
Yes.
date worked out. It just kind of all worked itself out. So
Yeah.
we're excited for that.
Yeah, it normally
Just
attracts
don't
like almost
expect it every
8,000.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments?
Or any questions?
Yes, thank you for that fun, energetic
Yeah.
Halloween report. You did great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Me and my family always go, so we look forward to, especially the fireworks. That'll be a great treat. Something different,
Be different.
right? So I think that's a great start of our end of the year celebration. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Always look forward to it, and however we could help. Yeah, and I've volunteered as a judge every year, but I don't think they expect me for some reason.
Really?
Like I always have to I think last year I had to tag along with Councilmember Hurtado, so maybe just
So,
expect me.
so the costume contest begins at 7. So if you meet at the stage area, Showmobile, before maybe like 6:45, so I could give you guys the instructions and the passes. We could talk based on that before.
It's hard to know who's going to show up and who's not going to show up. So we
Yeah.
always like to have additional judges there just in case somebody's not there. So sometimes if there's
Yeah.
too many, then we'll pair you guys up to work together. But it's just, not knowing exactly how many we're going to get. So make sure we have
I'm pretty sure I when we're asked I let them know, but I think I don't, and I feel like there was another year too
Right
where that
now.
happened again.
She's going to be there.
You're in.
And they were like, "Oh, we weren't expecting you," and I was like, "What?"
He's in charge of Halloween, so he's got
I have you.
got you down.
All right.
Got you down.
But no, I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, it's always a great event, and I always let all my neighbors know. So thank you guys.
Commissioner Playa.
No, they're going to be paying you off.
Yeah, just thanks for the presentation. I haven't been to a Hollywood or a Halloween event in a while here at Southgate Park, but I know that it's very popular, and hopefully this year I'll be able to make it as a judge. That's going to be the 31st or the 25th?
Yes, the 31st.
Okay. All right.
5th is the other event at Hollydale Community.
Okay.
31st is going to be the big
The
one.
actual contest takes place on the 31st.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna have contests on both locations,
Okay.
but I know the
main one is on the
31st.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, thanks again.
yes. You're welcome.
Thank you for your report. I just have one comment that maybe you might want to put in place if it hasn't been already addressed. But what was the organization you were talking about for the Easter event?
The HSA?
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe contact them and see if there's a special
So
area where for kids with autistic disorders or any other
So I know
limitations.
in the past we've worked with HSA, and then we have actually they have a booth game area where they actually host. So
Okay, great.
they actually conduct it. So we normally have them. I know we had them last year. So
I guess just double checking, make sure that they're part of it, and maybe even make it even bigger.
Yes.
Be a part of it. And I know that there's plenty of children that are either fully or on the spectrum, and it really does help for them, and maybe making sure that they understand there's going to be a fireworks show, because loud noises are
Can
triggers
bring
for
headphones
some
or
of them. So-
something.
yeah.
Huh?
They can bring their own, they'll know to bring their own
Yeah. So
headphones ahead
make
of
sure
time.
they're aware of that, because if that community is not aware of it, it could cause an issue for them. So I just want to make sure that they're covered, and you're taking the right precautions to make sure that it's enjoyable for everybody.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And if there's no other comments, can I get a motion to receive and file?
A
This-
motion?
I second.
All in favor?
I
Okay, motion passes. And that's it for our reports. So next up is the director's report.
It's me again. Okay, so for us, I know, I'll make it quick. So in July, we celebrated Parks Make Life Better Month. So that's, we really love that month because it's celebrating just parks and all that we do and all that we provide for the community. July 2nd, we hosted the Ballin' After Dark event. So that this is not the first time we do that event, but because that event has been so successful, we actually hosted 2 additional events. One of them was Dodgeball After Dark, and the other one was Volleyball After Dark. And 2 out of the 3 of them were sold out events, and they went very, very well. People really enjoyed it, and it's just basically the sport with music and just it's amplified, and the adults come out and do it. And I forgot to add on here too, we actually, because of the popularity of the Ballin' After Dark, we got requests to do a Ballin' After Dark or something similar to that, but for kids. So we actually have the high school one that we're doing called BAM, and it's Ballin' After Morning. And that one is, what's the date? Is it that one just passed? I think that one just passed, but because of the popularity of the other ones, we actually had a Ballin' After Morning for high school kids. So, yeah. And then we had our concert series in the park. So this year is a little bit revamped again, changed the setup of it, moved the beer garden around, and Solomon did a really good job of bringing in various food trucks on the different nights. So it wasn't always the same ones every week. And then, very well attended events. I think even considering the situation with immigration, we thought for sure it was going to, really dampen the attendance or the experience for people coming out. And, I think it still went very well. People seemed to enjoy it. For most of them, the dance floors were filled. We even offered 2 English groups. So we had a Mariachis Divas, and we had the Night Rider, which is a 80s tribute. And then we had, who was it? Oh yeah, Vilma Diaz and Sonora Dinamita.
Those guys, I think.
Oh, and then we had those guys was the other English group, and even those ones, you could even see the community just enjoying it, and it was different. It was different, but I think people really enjoyed the fact that we had a variety where typically it's always just Spanish music that's played, and I think it was a nice change. And Solomon did a good job of picking the bands, so we're hoping next year to continue that and continue throwing a little bit of a mixture in there, just so the community kind of gets used to it, and just gives it variety, right? And then let's see, and then we also the first weekend of August we did the family camp out. We had 40 families registered. Last year we had 25. This year we sold out with 40. I think of the 40, there was a couple that didn't show, but for the most part, everybody was there. We had a great time. We had a glow party. We had games, crafts, activities, the bonfire. We had some water slides out there for the kids. I signed up. I set my tent up and brought my nieces and nephews and such out there, and my mom and other people, and we had a great time. We cooked food for the families, and so that was like an additional package you could purchase for your family, and it's honestly extremely affordable for what they're getting, and just a fun time just had by all the families. I think staff did a really good job of just coming in and just giving them that experience. And, not all families can afford to go camping or can afford things like that, or even have the means to do it, maybe the vehicle to get to wherever they need to go. And so I think to be able to provide this for families within the Southgate community is just awesome. And then Movies in the Park started a couple weeks ago, and that seems to be going well. So we're doing them on Thursday nights. So tonight is at the golf course as we had in the past, and then now we're doing the Hollydale community on Friday nights. And I think we have more people attending the Hollydale community movie night than we do the golf course one. So just interesting, but maybe it is because of the day of the week.
Yeah,
and most people will come out on Fridays. A little easier, but nevertheless, the Hollydale ones are going well. And then today we actually hosted SMAF, which is Southern California Municipal Athletic Federation. We hosted their base general membership meeting, and we got a chance to participate in the little golf tournament that they put on, but they utilized our facility for. And so myself and some of the staff and Steve, we went out there, and it was a lot of fun. We had different cities from surrounding cities there. We had Torrance and Downey and Inglewood and Carson and Linwood, and I don't know, there was probably like about 9 or 10 cities that West Hollywood that all showed up there to participate in this in the Southeast area. Being so SMAF is a sports side of life. So there's CPRS, which is General Parks and Recreation, and then there's SMAF, which is geared more towards the sports side. And so it was really nice to be able to that they reach out to us to see if we were interested in hosting, and then 2, that we were able to just make it happen. So that was a lot of fun. And then on the 16th, we had a special event for our staff. We celebrated Parks and Rec Professionals Day, and we cooked up a storm for them and just celebrated them and all the work that they do day in and day out for the community. So that was also a fun event. And then up and coming golf tournament is August 17th. What was that?
So thanks for inviting us.
Hey, it was a long day. We cooked, what did I say, 18 slabs of ribs and 80 pounds of chicken for all the staff to come out and enjoy. So it was,
Nice.
you do? Okay, that will save me because I was here at 3:30 in the morning
Wow.
cooking for that.
That's
To
awesome.
cook all those ribs because they smoked it, so it took a long time,
That's awesome.
but it was a lot of fun. And well, staff are well deserving of it.
You know, there's a food truck that will help you with
It does, huh?
that. That's awesome.
And so we're getting ready, up and coming events. August 17th is our golf tournament once again for our summer. And then we have Downtree Recitals next week as well on the 19th to the 21st. And then on Saturday, Jennifer is doing a museum film screening out here on Saturday, the 23rd. And then in the little further future, September 26th, they're going to have a community angel game that we're going to. So be on the lookout for that because we'll be selling tickets for that. So
I have with them right now.
I have one thing to add. On the 23rd also, our Public Works Department's working with the County of Los Angeles. There's a free tire recycling event at Southgate Park, parking lot number 6 on the 23rd. It's between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Good way to get rid of old tires.
Thank you.
and the fun run, I forgot about that one. That one hosted about 600 runners, and they got a T-shirt and a headband. And well, it started off a little rocky because we had some difficulties with the jumper company who didn't show up with the jumpers. But as you all know, we are very resourceful, and staff all came together, and we got a secondary company to come in, and it delayed us by about 1 hour. But everybody that was there was completely understanding. We offered a bunch of different games and activities and a big photo op and all kinds of different things that we did for that 1 hour to keep them busy until the jumpers got there. And we had our staff, again, our staff were just, they moved. We figured out, we make it happen. And when the jumper company came in, we had staff assigned. So as soon as they came in, they unloaded that truck, they set those jumpers up and everything that we needed to get it going. And at the end of the event, nobody was upset or angry. In fact, on the opposite, everybody was thanking us just for putting on such a great event, a family event. And so, hey, you know, things happen and we have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's what we did, and provided still a great event for the community. So
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Any comments?
I agree with you with the camping. I think that's very good. I mean, who really says I camped at a park? You know, that's pretty cool. I didn't make it this year, but I have to make it next year. So it looked fun. You know,
That's
I passed by and the setup looked great. But other than that, thank you very much.
No, same here. I feel like I'm in between with the baby. Like when is she old enough? But like even for the movies, I've been wanting to go, but I know she's still very, very I don't think she's ready for some of those movies.
she's gonna want to run around.
Yeah, no, she takes it too personal and cries
Oh.
whenever something bad happens. So hopefully next year we'll definitely make it. But I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I see the posts and the attendance seems awesome. My sister-in-law lives across the street from the community park, so I know they're having a lot of fun there. They're probably just watching from their front lawn.
That's exactly what Steve said. He said he saw people sitting out front and they're just posted right between two trees or a couple poles, and they're just, and it's loud enough. He said you can hear it. So
Yeah, that's probably them.
I heard the system's really good. That's great. Any comments?
Thanks for that. And real quick on the camp night, the family camp night, what was the attendance number last year?
So 25. Last year was the very first year they did it. And so we didn't really know what to expect. So we went with 25. And then after seeing last year, we'll go up to 40. And yeah, we sold out with the 40. And there's really is room to add more. It's just, you know, I think we might go up a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. But the 40 was manageable for all that we offered and for the spacing and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe if you do increase, I know last time we mentioned maybe getting the Boy Scouts involved, since they're using some of the park and that's their expertise.
Right.
So maybe that would help manage the additional capacity. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. So a lot of the events I did attend as well. I did go to every concert in the park, and I know we had some comments about a lot of the bands that were playing.
Yeah.
So I do still want to encourage the social media outreach because I was getting a lot of complaints that, oh, it's the same Spanish bands all the time. And I'm like, if you went to the events, you would know that there was 2 English bands. And they're like, no, I live close enough to the park. I hear it. I'm like, you do not live that close then, because you cannot mistake, unless you're talking about the DJ, because the DJ was playing Spanish music. And also I do want to commend the DJ. I mean, he got a lot of good good reviews, and a lot of the community stayed just to hang out and listen to DJ and dance. So that's encouraging when, sometimes the band ends and everybody just walks away, right? But the DJ had them going, and people stayed till they had to get kicked out, right? So that was pretty encouraging on that end. The beer garden was also a great success, as always. The food trucks were awesome. I mean, I utilized those, obviously. But one comment on the beer garden: do we reach out to our local, breweries like Brown Soul and see if they're interested in doing something like that instead of getting outside of the city to do the beer garden? Just something to maybe think about next time, utilizing our city partners.
Some of the groups that sometimes will charge us to come out and do this stuff. So the difference, and so we try to keep it towards something that's going to be affordable, to stay within the budget and everything else. And the bands cost so much money that sometimes it just the group that we use, they really help us out a lot. They get the permits, they get a lot of the stuff for us, and they don't charge us to come out here, and they also don't hold us to a minimum. Like, if we don't make this much money, like, you guys are forced to pay us so much money. So we have to look at a lot of different things when we're trying to book that stuff. But no, when we have used Brown Soul before when we're able to. But so it just depends on the groups. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's all I have. Thank you for the report. Next is the Parks and Recreation Commission subcommittee reports.
I think I report on everything. Glenn, you report on everything? Oh, it's you guys. You're right, commission reports.
No.
You're like, we're done.
No, none from us then. So the request for items on future agendas. So you have some requests you were starting with. You want to go in and add those now?
Yeah, if we could just get a report back on the issue with the fee reimbursement, and just maybe some of the specifics on what that is, and just where that left off on. I think it's definitely something that we should be aware of, I guess, of the process, how that goes up the chain. And it's good to see that some of the comments kind of brought in some light on both sides. But just, I think it always helps when you guys chime in and let us know what steps you guys took to kind of help mediate the issue.
I can say this with the partner organizations, they are their own entity.
Yeah.
So regardless of who it is, whether it's the Aquatics Coalition, Aztec Football, whoever it is, they are their own entity. So when they have problems like that internally, and people have come to us many, many times telling us like, oh, fix this. Oh, this was going on. It's not fair, or whatever. And we tell them, you need to go back to the board that's there, and they have to handle that, because we don't oversee them. They don't report directly to us in that manner. And so everything has to be handled internally. And then once it goes internally, if there's, like I said, some sort of appeal or whatever it is, then it can be brought forward. But until they go through the process, we don't just step in and just take over, because they have their own boards and they're their own entity, right? So that's how we've dealt with it in the past, is that way. And then we chime in after the fact. And again, this is not the first time that there's a complaint about one of the partner organizations, and we treat everybody the same. So
Yeah, no, I figured as much, and I trust the process. I think it just helps out if we know, because I mean, you know, I attend the council meetings, and you hear these claims, and it's always, I think sometimes if it isn't, there's limitations on what can be addressed and when, but I feel like it's in a way, sometimes it puts us, you know, the Parks Commission, the Parks Department and the partner organizations in a bad light. And I don't think it's fair. I mean, it's the rules, you know, we have to follow the rules, but it's just, I think it's really unfair to kind of just leave that out there without addressing it at some point. And it also kind of brings to light another issue that came up with just the people playing soccer in the park, and just I was glad to hear Steve address the whole issue about people getting permits, and I think at some point that would be maybe a good presentation to have, what the process is for people to rent the facilities, and at what point, and who do they go to, and I think it just kind of helps inform us of the process, so that we're also aware of how that works.
Okay, and I'll talk to Steve about the whole report coming back to it, because I know initially it was like, we can't bring that here, but we'll talk to him and then we'll see how we can just give you some sort of an update.
Any comments? No? Any future agenda items?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to maybe get a report or report on CDBG funds and how they were used and how much we got
From this past year?
from
or
like
from
this
last-
past year,
last-
or just the most recent,
The most
wha-
recent ones are the ones that you, or one of you guys brought up
Right.
about those.
and just to kind of discuss that so that we know what came in and what the potential is there and how they're being used. I think that would be good to get something like that. So if we can do that. And then I know that there were some comments made about the soccer thing, and I think that I agree with my colleague. That would be a good presentation to just let people know, right? Like, this is what you have to do, because I know that some people are what Steve said, that there's organized leagues that are sort of trying to circumvent some of these things. So it'd be good to know what constitutes an organized league and what the permit process is to be able to do that.
Okay.
And where can people play? Because I know that there's also limitations on where people
There
should
are
play or not.
limitations there, but there, I know regarding the soccer issue, I know that this last week, some of the people who did come in were people that I personally had to speak to, because they were full on, like about 30 men out there just playing soccer. And I was trying to tell them, like, you can't do it here, but if you want to come in, you have to have proper insurance. I mean, they weren't just out there just kind of like kicking the ball around. They had like pennies on, they had their own, they brought in their own goalposts, like big goals and the whole thing. And it was just like, you can't just do it here. I try to offer them different solutions. I try to talk to them about, like, hey, we can get you a space reserved at goals. We can do this. We can figure stuff out. But they just were just like, no, this is, we want to do it. We want to do it here. They wanted everything to be on their terms. I'm like, but you just can't. And then we had the other group that was there, which was it was a travel soccer club, and they play in the city of Downey, but they can't get fields in Downey. As their complaint is, we can't get fields in Downey, so we come here. I'm like, yeah, but you have to have insurances and you have to have all these different things, because there's all these liabilities that come along with what you're doing. And we tried to tell them, like, go inside, fill out the request, do all this stuff, but they don't want it. They don't want no part in it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have no part in it, then we can't have you here. So they just, get frustrated.
So yeah, I also agree that we need some kind of information a little bit better on that, and what's the difficulty in getting a permit, and the setbacks. Is there a fee involved? Things like that. So if we could understand a little bit better, I'd appreciate that for the next meeting. Also, in the meeting, they talked about the pickleball courts and how they are going to put some permanent courts in. I think 4 courts they were talking about in the meeting future.
There's
So-
4 there's 4 right now that are drawn in, but they're asking for some on the opposite end.
Well,
which is,
they're portable right now, but
Yeah, they're portable.
what Steve said in the meeting, that they're looking to put 4 courts permanent.
yes,
Remove 2 of the tennis courts and
Mhm.
put 4 pickleball permanent courts in there. So
yes.
if you can just give him a date on what's the plan for that? He just threw it out there, so I'd like
Right.
something more concrete. Is there a permanent, an actual date in place when they're going to make this official and
I think it's
shut
first
down
just
that
getting
court?
some funding, and then, yeah. So I mean, I don't see it happening immediately,
Okay.
just because there's some funding needed, and some of the courts that are out there, they need some resurfacing. So if we're gonna do all that, we're not gonna just waste all the money painting all the lines and doing all that stuff when there's some potential safety issues with some resurfacing that needs to be done. But definitely something.
Yeah,
we can-
like I said, I just
Okay.
like to know a little bit more. I mean, it's actually brought up in this meeting, and
Yeah.
It's something that the community is looking for, and we've been talking about for a long time. So it's nice that Circle Park's going to have that at least, so that's great, and their official pickleball courts, so that's great. Is there just one court or
I think it's one court that they have there.
one pickleball court? Okay.
One court there.
So
Just
There's gonna be a
space-
long line to play.
I know, just because of due to the spacing and due to the, like,
Yeah.
just the restrictions on being on Edison.
Yeah, of course. No, but I'm glad that the community's voicing their opinion
Yeah.
and you guys are actually listening. I mean, to even just have the portable ones is a huge step, right? So we can just figure out how we can make those permanent ones. That'd be great. So a few things that I do want to touch bases on, and you know, this the what happened with the JAA. I happen to be firsthand knowledge of what happened, and I mean, from what happened with the coach, I was actually there when it happened. I was part of most of. I mean, I was at the meeting when the parents were talking, and everything really got misconstrued from what actually happened. So I want to make it clear one thing. First thing that I do want to make clear is that the vice mayor did not at any time pass the buck to the parks director. He stated the procedure, and I followed up with Steve to make sure that this procedure is proper. And the procedure is if anyone is unhappy with the board of any of our organization's decision, they're welcome to go to the director of Parks and Rec to help get clarification on why they were denied, in this case, a refund or anything else. According to Steve, that procedure is in place because there could be unfair treatment or biases towards players or biases towards coaches, biases towards parents. So that procedure is in place to make sure that the organizations are being fairly treating to all parties. And so in these kind of cases, you know, of course, Steve's going to listen, but really, it's his direction then to really let the organizations handle themselves according to their bylaws and to their processes and procedures. And from what I've seen in this particular one firsthand, that the JAA was following their proper procedures and doing they welcome the parents to speak their voice and ask for a refund. But unfortunately, in this particular occasion, just because you don't like the rules and you take your ball and go home is not a warranted reason to get a refund. And I would understand if a child was injured in the first game or something else happened. The first step, as a longtime member of the JA in the past, 25 years, and also as a forever resident of Southgate who actually played as a child at Southgate Park and part of the JAA. I know these rules have always been in place, and whenever a child is hurt for whatever reason, there's a very good chance somebody can get a refund. They're always offered credit for the next season. So there's always something that the JA has in place to try to facilitate something. But if there's just a group of parents who, for whatever reason, are misled by a coach, then it's not a warranted reason to even open up a case against the city. And I commend the city manager for sticking up for the JA and saying that he's never really heard anything bad about the JAA in the past. And I believe that's true. I mean, there's with the organizations that we have in the city, from the Aquatics to the AYSO to the Aztecs, I'm sure in all those groups there's probably parents are unhappy with something that's happening, and they try to take care of those problems as best they can. From what I understand, I know the JA has over thousands of kids that go through the program every year, and if you're going to have one group of parents every year that are going to complain about something, that's you're talking less than 0.5% probably of complaints, and that's not a bad record. But I do want to encourage this committee here to really focus on non-politicizing our partner organizations such as the JAA or any of the other organizations for any kind of self-gain. We're here. We're appointed by city council people. We're all approved by a certain council person, but we're not just thrown in this group. We have to get approved by the entire council. So we represent the entire council when we're here. And so as representatives of that council, you know, we really have to do better and make sure that we have the city's interests and the children of the city's interest at heart. And when you hear all these programs that are going on and all the reports and the extensive report that Tina gave us, it's all geared towards children and making a fun environment for the children. You know, we commented just a little while ago how hard it is for us to get teens to participate, right? Let alone adults. So everything that we do in the city and in this committee, we're really looking for encouraging our children and encouraging the children of this community to enjoy themselves and to have a really good experience by either playing at the park or playing at any of the other facilities that we offer to them. I mean, there's a ton of activities that are non-sports related that we try to make it fun for the children. My colleague here also brought up about children with special needs. So we try to look at every single child and make it happy for them. And when a program such as the JA is trying to do that for up and coming children, and you have a handful of parents who don't understand the rules and a coach who flat out violated the rules, then you make an unpleasant experience for the children. And so I hope that we can take the time to look into this, and I'm glad that we're asking the questions, but feel free to go to the organizations. Ernie, can you let me know when what days are the board meetings? What days are they? First and third? Wednesday, Tuesday, what is it? First and third Thursday of the month. So I encourage us to go and ask questions if we need to and find out these questions. Because like Tina said, it's really hard for us to come and make a presentation on something that is not part of this committee. So, but there's things that are affected by this committee. And so we should go out and talk to our organizations if there's something that we feel that, whether it's a JA or any of the other organizations, they all have meetings, they all have a board. So we can go and talk to them. If we don't agree with something that's happening in the aquatic program, we can go to their board. If there's something that's happening with the Aztecs, we can go to their board. But I just want to encourage us as a committee to make sure that we're strong and that we're here for the children of this city. And from what I hear when we're talking, we're all on that page. We're all geared towards the children of the city. Again, like I said, as a lifetime member of the city of Southgate, I grew up here from birth, and my children played here. My children went on to coach. My children went score kept at the park. There's branches of what I've done in this city, and I encourage us all to have those type of branches. I think that's all I had on my notes here. So, are there any other comments or any requests for future agenda items?
I just wanted to request maybe if we can get a list of the board meetings for each of the partner organizations, because I know that there's the aquatics, the Aztecs. I think that would be useful. That way, whenever we have a chance, we can try to attend.
And then also, I encourage you guys to reach out to your councilman too, not just the one that appointed you, but if there's, they're city servants, so they're here for us, and they're here to listen to us if we have any, if we need any clarification on anything that's happening in the city. So, feel free to reach out to them. If there's no other requests for future agenda items, we'll get a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.